Welcome into Around the Fell, episode 26, our Week 8 recap. I am your host, Colin Tong, the Moo Man, the Milker Man, with my co-host, Reagan. Reagan, what are you on this nice Halloween night?
I guess a bloody nerd. I don't know.
A bloody nerd?
Maybe a bloody game show host.
Bloody game
show. I'm just like a bloody Dave Kershaw with hair in the future. But no, I got the cool jacket here. Threw some blood on my face. It was last minute.
I do like the jacket, Reagan. You look pretty slick. I'm not gonna lie.
And you look like you need to be milked by somebody. Not me, but somebody.
I don't necessarily disagree. I do have on the Sam Darnold jersey because, as we know, the Jets beat the Giants. I lost the bet. I am a big Sam Darnold fan. My little brother met Sam Darnold. This bracelet I have on is from Sam Darnold. So, Reagan, I appreciate you giving me good old Sammy.
All right, take it off then.
Nope. It's already on.
It's a punishment.
It was tough to get it on over this cow onesie, so I'm gonna stick with it.
All right.
So
happy Halloween, though.
Yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. We got a nice little setup here. We're a little festive. Hopefully, you guys tuned in to the trade deadline episode. That was a special that we did.
Yeah.
So 3 pods this week, and with our news, we're gonna start off with the trades of the day. Very interestingly, Reagan, the Commanders trade both Montez Sweat and Chase Young, but I was surprised with what they got for both. I thought it was a good deal for the Sweat, getting the Bears second, because we saw last year they gave up their second to get Claypool, and that pick ended up being up in number 34.
Yes.
Or maybe even higher than that.
No, it was 32. It ended 32. Up being technically a first rounder because Miami forfeited their first rounder.
Yes, so that was a great deal.
Yep.
For the Steelers. Now, maybe the Commanders, I like what they got back because Sweat is 27. You're going to have to pay him. Now, after that, I thought they were going to hold pat and keep Chase Young and extend Chase Young.
Guess not.
They trade him to the Niners for a third.
Yeah,
and Young is 24 years old, and he's been better than Sweat this year. He's 5th in the league in pressure percentage. I don't get that
didn't
return.
Make sense at all.
I don't think it makes sense, Reagan.
For a late third rounder.
It's going to be a late third rounder.
That one was a head scratcher because there's so many teams where you could point to and you're like, you really wouldn't give up more than a third to get Chase Young.
I know. He's still a young and ascending player.
I guess people are worried with his health.
Yeah, it must be it. I don't know. I thought that was very interesting, and now I see people like, wow, look at all the picks they have, and they have $80 million in cap space next year. I'm like, well, that's great. You could have used some of that cap space to retain a 24-year-old pass rusher that's already shown to be productive and shown this year that he's recovered well from the knee surgery.
Well, it would have made sense, but hell, I honestly can't. I just really don't understand that move by Washington. But
no, I don't know what they're doing. I think Riverboat Ron's time is going to come to an end. Maybe Bieniemy takes over as the head coach next year.
I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be interesting.
That would be like the top candidate, but it's hard to. I could also see the new ownership just being like, "Fuck it, we're cleaning house completely."
I could see that absolutely.
Because it's not like they were in after Bieniemy's already been hired, so that's not necessarily their guy. Nobody there is their guys. So.
Yeah, I hear you. Josh Dobbs basically given to the Vikings from the Cardinals. The Cardinals made it known that it's Clayton Tune or Kyler Murray next week, and Murray's due back.
Clayton Tune season, baby!
It is Week 10. Yeah, your boy Clayton Tune might get a look this weekend.
Oh my gosh,
interesting.
Yeah.
I was rooting for Jameis Winston. I guess I got to cancel my waiver claim in Superflex.
Put one in on Josh Dobbs. Put one on Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, I don't know. We know what Dobbs is. So
now we got Ed.
It's really not a big deal.
Ed, you're calling me right now mid-pod, so I'll call you back on a break. So when you're watching this video later on, it's because you're calling me right now. I'm not ignoring you, but I will call you back soon.
Next, Donovan Peoples-Jones traded to the Lions for a 6th rounder in 2025. DPJ was pretty solid for the Browns last year. I guess he fell out of favor.
Not a huge production this year.
Yeah, not really a lot of production this year. The Lions add another big body receiver to that core. What do you think about that move, Reagan? Any impact on them? I don't really think so.
I don't know. I'm actually shocked they went out and got a wide receiver. I could have seen them getting a big name guy, but that just seems like kind of a lateral move to me. I guess low risk. It wasn't a lot of capital given up, but we'll see.
We'll see. Jets sign 2-time Pro Bowler. Reagan wanted to make sure that was in there.
I have to put it in there because he's a 2-time Pro Bowler. It ain't no bum. We also needed a body,
Offensive guard Roger Saffold the third. There's a reason he was on the waiver, or not the waivers. He was a free agent going into Week 9 of the season.
Yeah, he was just holding out for the best opportunity.
That's the way you want to put it, brother.
Yeah, that works for me.
Defensive lineman Kentavious Street from the Eagles sent to the Falcons. Clearly, the Eagles have plenty of depth.
Yeah, and this
Falcons
is a move.
replacing
Grady Jarrett. Yeah. I mean, not a huge move, but, they had to go get somebody, so makes sense.
Now, from my top 15 trade candidates, only 2 got traded, both Sweat and Young. Jalen Johnson, it was reported late last night, he got permission to seek a trade.
Guess you couldn't find one.
And that's honestly good news for the Bears because that means no one was willing to pay Johnson what he wanted, which, the
Gives
Bears
them all the
can now,
leverage,
now they have leverage. They know what his market is, and Johnson can't ask for the world. So, that wraps up the news. Do we have any questions? Or
No, I don't think we did.
Yeah, we didn't do
Unless
questions.
you two got any questions.
Yeah, what do you guys think that 49ers defense is going to look like now that they got Chase Young?
Well, Nick Bosa
Fact.
is number
Scary.
1 in the league in pressure percentage, and Chase Young is number 5, so that adds another lethal pass rusher on the opposite side of Bosa. Their defense has been struggling. Granted, I think it's more so in the secondary, but they've struggled to tackle. They're somehow in a 3-game losing streak, very unlike them, so I actually love the move from San Francisco, and I'd be curious to see if they extend Chase Young, because when you have a quarterback like Brock Purdy as your starter, who you picked last overall in the draft, you have the ability to pay 2 elite pass rushers. You have the cap space. Purdy makes $800K a year. So I'd be interested to see if they do get a deal done with Chase Young or if there's just a rental to push for a Super Bowl this year.
All I know is it's scary for those teams that got to play the 49ers.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Very scary.
Reagan, not necessarily NFL, but your boy James Harden, a Clipper now. What do you
James
think?
Harden, a Clipper, traded for a bag of chips.
Awesome. I mean, they got a lot in return. It's a good move.
They got some draft picks.
They got some draft picks, and they got some
real
good
starters, except for maybe Robert Covington.
Yeah, Covington and Marcus Morris. They got some good wing depth, something they could use. So, and I mean that they had no leverage. So, I mean, Clippers are very scary now. I mean, they got a nice big 4. Plus, they get PJ Tucker. They got Zubac still, Plumlee. They got some, and they kept Terrence Mann too. That was the big name being floated around. So, Clippers have a deep roster.
Wanted to keep Mann. I don't know basketball as much as I know football, but I do know the Clippers.
If they could stay healthy, they'll be a scary
Well, they're
team.
like all in this year because
Clearly.
Harden, George, and Kawhi
Westbrook too.
and Westbrook are all free agents after this year, and they don't control their own pick for the next 7 years. I believe.
This is like
So it's
go
all or
in the
nothing.
ring.
It's all or nothing because if
There's
they
so
all
many
decide
teams that are in
no,
that-
we're walking, this didn't work out, then the Clippers are going to be in a probably 15, 20-year hole.
Yeah, that's.
If you
They're
think
gonna be
about
bad,
it, like
though, yeah.
seriously.
And they got that new stadium coming next year, so they're going to need people to fill those seats.
Yeah, not going to fill it with no stars. That's for certain.
That's for certain. All right, Reagan, you want to get into these ball games or what?
Yeah, we could at least do the Thursday and the London game to start. Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm sorry, not the. What am I talking about? London game.
Yeah, there was no London game this week, you dweeb. You don't know ball. But it's fine.
That's fucking.
Jeez, that's right.
That is fucking crazy. Well, why don't you fill them in on our? Do you got our records up on there?
Oh
or
yeah.
no?
So Reagan and I completely tied this week. We both went 11-5 straight up, 7-8-1 on the spread. Reagan's 79-43 money line. I'm 77-45. Reagan's 66-52-4 on the spread, which is very good, brother. I'm gonna tip my little moo cap here for you.
Thanks you.
That is
Thanks.
a very solid. You know the guy, Chris the Bear Felica. He does college football. He was on College Game Day last year, and now he's like employed by Fox.
I know who he is.
I've been watching this guy. 1, he's just hideous, and he just doesn't sound good on TV. But 2, he goes under 500 every
hideous?
single
He's like an ugly guy?
year. Like hideous.
Wow,
And
wait, wow, that's wild. Like,
I'm not saying you're.
What does that
I'm
have
not saying
anything to
you're.
do with-
No, it's just like how does he get on TV? You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because
He doesn't
okay,
have a face for TV.
I'm saying if you're gonna look like that, then hopefully,
on radio.
hopefully the Bear's not listening.
Yeah, he's got a face
I was gonna say that's wild. Why are you looking at him that way?
But if you're gonna look like that, I've been following him for the past 5 years because I love College Game Day.
So you
He
wouldn't
goes
want him
under
touching-
500.
He wouldn't be touching your honors.
No, absolutely not. He goes
got a
under
face for
500
radio.
every single year, and he has a job, and he got employed by Fox. And I just check his picks out on Saturdays just to see, how bad's the Bear doing? He's still under 500, and I'm like, how does that guy get on TV? And my guy right here, who's 66-52-4 against the spread, can't get on TV.
Give me a
That's
job.
all I'm saying.
Give me a job, apparently.
Yeah, I'm 61-57-4. I'm 5 games back of Reagan, and I will catch up. We're only halfway through the season. I will catch up.
Wow.
All right, Thursday night game. The Bills defeat the Bucks 24-18. Josh Allen did Josh Allen things. He did throw a pick,
And the scoreboard
happens.
honestly doesn't fully reflect this game.
Yeah, the Bucks. They were down 24-10 in the fourth. They got a 2. Kind
The
of
crazy
backdoor
thing
cover.
is, Chris Godwin looks up a little bit sooner, the Bucks win that
The Bucks
game.
win that game,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Bucks
I don't
win
know
that
what
game.
And
it is.
I saw they got bailed out at the end of that game too. I didn't watch this game. I was in New York, but a couple of questionable calls.
Yeah, it definitely got prolonged. The Bucks definitely had a lot of things go their way to get that backdoor cover
Didn't they
and
catch the
almost
ball
win the
off
game.
like a helmet or something?
Yeah, Evans caught a touchdown off a helmet. They called.
And the 2-point conversion was tipped too.
Yeah, yep. A lot of different things had to go their way to get the cover, but nevertheless, they covered. They got it done. I mean, I was impressed with Josh Allen. He had a good game.
324,
and he did it without even really. I mean, Diggs had a good game, but for Diggs' standard, he was like the fourth best guy.
9 for 70 on 12
big
targets.
games for
but,
Kincaid and Davis.
And I mean, Shakir was their leading receiver,
Shakir
6
as
for
well.
92.
Very
Davis
involved.
9 for 87 and a touchdown. We had first touchdown from
And
the
I
wheel.
guess
That's
I
a
guess with
heartbreaker.
them kind of changing personnels up now that Knox is on IR, they just going one tight end sets now.
I like
and
it. I
Shakir
like
seems to
Kincaid.
be
He's a
that-
better receiver than Knox.
Yeah, and Shakir seems to be this number 3 wide receiver now.
Yeah, remember when we argued preseason who you should take, Kincaid or who was the other guy?
Wow,
Joe? Do you
so
remember?
you're taking your victory laps because
Do you
some,
remember?
Kincaid, was it rookie tight end?
it was
No,
Kincaid
who
and
are you-
Charbonnet.
No, we're
Yes,
not.
it was
arguing
Charbonnet. Yes, it
Charbonnet.
was.
No,
I
it
was-
was a vet. It was a vet.
No, it was definitely Charbonnet. we
No,
can go back and look.
definitely a vet.
No, I was mainly saying any late round flyer on a running back is what I was saying because there's a pull up of that. And also, you're taking a victory lap because a player got injured. It's not like it wasn't like
he was.
I understand.
He was playing
I
well,
understand that.
He had some
No,
good
he wasn't doing anything till Knox went down. As soon as Knox goes down, now he's getting heavily involved. Knox leaves the game early last week. Kincaid goes 8 for 85. Then this week with Knox out, he gets 2 touchdowns. So all of his production has come once Knox went down.
Just saying, Kincaid, baby.
I'm
I was
agreeing.
all
It's
in on
good. I'm
Kincaid.
agreeing, but my reasoning for why Kincaid wouldn't do anything is not wrong. It's not wrong in the slightest. Like, Dawson Knox had to get injured for him to get to where you wanted him to be.
But it happened.
Okay? And you just put your phone away because you know I read.
But it
Shut
happened.
the fuck up.
But it happened. The Bucks lose their third in a row after starting 3-1. It seemed like
Tires
they
are
were in
falling off.
competition for this division, which they still are. They're only half a game back. But I know preseason, Reagan, we had their win total at 6.5. We both like the under.
It's just
The
crazy
wheels
'cause Baker
might.
is your boy.
Baker is my fucking boy. He did throw for 237, 2 touchdowns. He took care of the ball. He didn't throw a pick. You know, Godwin.
A lot of
Godwin's-
that did come in the end. That one
No, yeah. Is Godwin just like one of the most consistent receivers in the league? I feel like every time we look at his stat line, it's like 5 or 6 catches for like 50 to 60
Dude,
yards.
I would honestly probably trade Godwin and a first round pick. Or I would trade Najee and a first rounder to get Godwin at a time.
That's because what Drock did, right, Drock?
No.
What do
Oh,
you
you-
know?
I got bullied.
Some would say I stuffed him in a locker, but you know that's a conversation for another
Yeah.
day. But the Bills now 5-3. My problem with the Bills is we just don't know what team we're gonna get week in and week out. You know what I mean, Reagan?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. This team has been very hot and cold this year, so it'll be interesting to see how they finish out the season down the stretch. But right now, it's a team that one week looks like they're one of the best teams in the league, and the next week they look like they're bottom half.
Yeah, they
That's
played to their
simple.
competition.
That they definitely
All right,
did.
so let's get one game out of the way before we get to break. Let's just get the Giants Jets over with, Reagan. I like to just get this one done out of my mind.
Okay.
I don't want to think about it.
I'm happy Drock's here because Drock, you were doing a lot of dancing
I was
before the
talking
game ended.
so much
You were talking a lot of smack.
Drock was talking smack.
Well, Jock, you were doing what was the dance
Sexy
you were
Dexy
doing?
dance.
The sexy
I
Dexy
was,
dance.
well, I was waiting for him to answer it, but thanks, guys.
I think Drock's a little nervous on
I'm
camera.
not gonna lie, I was fucking shaking everyone's hand saying it was a cause.
Oh, he was
That
done.
was the issue.
I did say in the third
I get
quarter, if
tapped
we
on the-
won, I was buying a Tommy DeVito jersey.
Yep, these guys were taking their laps. I get tapped on the shoulder by Drock. I turn around, he's doing, hey, we won, doing the big Dexter Lawrence dance.
We went like this. It's down here.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't give a shit because I don't watch the Giants.
Sexy Dexy.
I don't
Sexy
need
Dexy
to.
did have like 14 pressures, which was the most in a game since like
Sexy.
2005.
And a loss, but yes,
And a
he did
loss,
have a
yeah.
good
We're
game.
walking out, and Reagan's like, never fucking talk shit like that again to me.
Yeah,
And I'm
Reagan.
just like fucking pissed. off.
Reagan says to me with like 30 seconds left, he's like, all right, can we go? Like, we know this game's over. And I'm like, no.
I was ready to go. I'm glad Colin made me stay.
I was like, we're going to wait till there's zeros. I've seen this story before.
I know. I think you definitely learned your lesson after.
Even before Gano kicked that field goal, I'm pretty sure half the stadium left too.
Half the stadium
yeah.
did leave.
Oh.
No, half the stadium left after Thibodeau got the sack.
Where I was sitting, like I saw a crowd of Jets people leave after that tip.
And
Yeah.
when the Jets got the ball back, you saw all green.
Yeah, they
back
all
in.
just come right back and they're like, "We're back, baby." We're like,
We
"All
never
right."
left.
Fake fans.
So on the Jets side, Wilson did play pretty solid football. Granted, 17 for 36, but it was a monsoon. But he got it done.
We definitely got
game.
soaked. We definitely did. Get
Yeah,
soaked.
we got pissed on. We got pissed on.
Well, 16 punts. Is that right? Is that
Yeah,
right?
it was like the most
24.
punts. It was the most punts in a game since
It was
1988.
24 punts.
And the Giants had
over
9.
1,000 punt yards.
And we sat in the rain and
Negative
watched a
9.
punt fest.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least
Yeah,
your
it was
quarterback, at least your
pretty
third
gross.
string quarterback threw for.
And ran for a touchdown.
We knew.
least
We knew in the lot too. I was like, guys, I hate to say it, but like the under is such a lock. But I would never bet the under on my own team's game.
You know what I don't hate to say? How many who had more
under
passing
was
yards
such a
than
lock.
DeVito? You, me, Joe, Drock. We all had more passing
DeVito
yards.
went 2 of 7 for -1 yard.
We did have more completions,
He
but
had
we
more
all had more
touchdowns
passing
than us.
yards. They had more touchdowns, but we
Tyrod-
did have more passing yards than them.
Tyrod 4 of 7 for 8 yards before suffering the rib injury.
Yeah, very productive in the passing game for the Giants.
Barkley had 36 touches for 128 on the ground, and I believe
crazy.
He had
116.
And how many?
or
And he had 3
maybe
catches too. 39 touches for one guy in a game.
3
It's
catches.
ridiculous.
I believe he
Well,
had
yeah,
112
we
yards
could've-
after contact, which is pretty crazy because that Jets defense is ferocious. I mean,
super ferocious.
it was Breece Hall that 50-yard touchdown, and Garrett Wilson 7 for 100.
Yeah, he had a good game.
It was the first
Big
time
toe tap
Deontay
catch.
Banks has really gotten beat this year.
Yeah,
Garrett
well,
Wilson
when
is
you
that
gotta
guy.
when you got to play a top 10 receiver, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing this jersey right now. It was a
They did fine
heartbreaking
against
loss.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, well,
He
I don't know.
did. He did.
not my problem.
All right, let's move on from this
What was the
fucking
top 10
game. I want it
receiver,
out of
I
my
would say?
head. I
Top
never
5.
want to think about it again.
No. I'll talk about it a little more. Drock, you got anything to say? You were the big shit talker. Let's hear what you got to say.
You think if Tyrod's still in with the Giants last drive, do you think they go for it, or do you doesn't think?
No, I'm fine with the decision to kick the field goal because, well, all right. So I'm gonna give you a different side of it that I heard Michael Lombardi say, but I was fine with the field goal because then you got
Come up with your own point.
You got to make Zach Wilson and this offense in that monsoon go score a touchdown with 26 seconds left.
Oh yeah, I saw. Don't go.
Now,
don't
what
receive it.
Lombardi was saying, which I thought was interesting, but I think it's maybe a little ballsy, you snap the ball back to DeVito, he drops back like 5 yards, and just throws the ball as high as he can to the end zone, just have a receiver run straight. If they pick it, who gives a shit? If it's PI, game over, and if the ball drops, you burn 8 seconds off the clock, and then they still got to go. Maybe 17, 16 seconds, they got to go kick a field
especially
goal.
with Gano missing.
Yeah, but I don't love that because what in the off chance it's picked off and returned for a touchdown?
Yeah, but you almost can like aim it out of the back.
Or you go for it, and the same situation fucking happened.
Nah, dude, I'm gonna
if
be
you
honest.
The only
Some-
problem I
some
have-
people saying that the Giants should have deferred it in overtime.
Yeah, I did
Also-
hear that.
Yeah,
Deferred
so-
it and played defense.
Yeah.
I also,
and only need
I also
field
don't
goal,
love
which you would
hearing you
never
guys.
do.
I'm gonna get a little annoyed with these Giants fans crying about the call. I mean, you guys all were loving Graham Gano last year. You got to trust them. I mean, he
Well,
was
the only
huge
problem
last year.
with Gano right
That's
now.
the right call. Because if you go for it and don't get it, maybe you burn 2-3 more seconds. Like, it's the right call.
Now, the biggest argument, though, against it, which I kind of understand, is that Gano has a knee injury that he's already said he needs surgery after the season, and Gano was elite last year, and he's missing field goals this year. You could tell the knee's a problem. So why don't you just put him on IR and actually sign a kicker
that's on the
that's
coaching
healthy?
staff for that, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's Dable's biggest flaw right now is the head coach is his management of injuries. It's very bad.
Clearly, yeah.
It's very bad.
What it could have, should have.
Like you kept Andrew Thomas in week 1 when the
Then
game
you would
was
have been
over.
doing your
and made his
Dexy.
hamstring
You
worse.
would have been doing your sexy Dexy dance all the way out
I
to the
would've been
parking
so
lot.
happy.
And then you were doing the Mopey Drock.
The Mopey Drock. I love it. All right, let's take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to the rest of the slate.
Boo! Happy Halloween, felters. Take a look at these bad boys. Shout out to our guys over at Masterpiece Designs, especially you, Ed. Slam it!
All right, everybody, welcome back in. What a crazy, fascinating ad read by Drock. You gotta love the energy he brings all the time. How about that haircut he's got?
He's good at what he does, for what he looks like.
Whoa, what the hell?
Moo.
Yeah, are you kidding me, fucking cowboy?
Cowboy? Do I look like a damn cowboy to you?
You look like a Dallas cowboy to me.
No, get the fuck out of here. Oh, way to segue right into the Rams-Cowboys game where the Cowboys rolled the Rams 43-20 to improve to 5-2.
Huge game for the
Dak
Cowboys.
threw for 304, 4 tutties, 1 pick. Pollard still has not scored a touchdown in a while, but 12 for 53 in the ground, which is solid.
And it was a conversation I think we need to have now. Is Dak Prescott top 5?
No. You don't even believe that.
No, I just wanted to see how you'd react. But I mean,
Big CD Lamb game, Reagan. 12 for 158 and 2 touchdowns. Drock, how did he do against you in fantasy this week? I think he
got
dropped
wrecked.
40, right?
Got
I think he
wrecked.
dropped 40? Yeah, I whooped that ass.
I got wrecked.
Don't forget it.
You whooped that ass.
I whooped that ass. Ferguson added a touchdown. So did Brandon Cooks. On the Rams side,
Was he cooking?
Stafford only threw for $162, a touchdown, and a pick, but the big story is he hurt that thumb.
Yeah, what's going to happen with that? That's the real question. I mean, he's day-to-day right now. Will it linger? Will he miss time?
I think it's interesting that the Rams were trying very hard to get John Wolford off the Bucs practice squad, and for the Bucs to avoid him leaving, they elevated Wolford to the active roster, which means they say day-to-day with Stafford, but it might be a little bit more serious than anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't want to see it go down because what is it going to mean for weapons like Nakua and Kupp? I mean, they really can't run the ball. I mean, Kyron Williams looked pretty good running the ball. I know it wasn't super efficient, but was getting a lot of volume. So how will it look now with a John Wolford-led, or Wolford, how do you pronounce it?
Wolford.
Muford?
Williams didn't play this week, right?
No, I know that. That's what I'm saying, though. It looked good with him, but now you're going to have John Muford mixed with...
Well, they don't have Muford. I just said he stayed on the Bucs team. He stays with the Bucs. He got elevated to the active roster by the Bucs to keep him away.
So who would be step in? Would it be Stenson?
I don't think it's Bennett.
Okay. Well, either way, whoever steps in mixed with a run game led by Darrell Henderson, a guy they let go and brought back only because they wanted a guy that was familiar with the system,
and Royce Freeman.
And Royce Freeman, a guy who's bounced on roster to roster. So
it'd be Brett Ripon. Stetson Bennett's the third.
So between Ripon and those backs, I mean, it's not going to look good. And then, like, what are teams going to expect? They're going to target Nakua and Kupp. Obviously, you can't limit them, but when you can't run the ball and you got a guy who doesn't have a lot of experience, it's going to be ugly for the Rams. So.
Absolutely, and Kupp and Nakua both struggled this week. Kupp 4 for 21, Nakua 3 for 43.
Yeah, what's going on with Kupp, man? The past 2 weeks.
I know, not good.
It's
a good time to buy low.
In years for him. Oh yeah, especially in
But
Dynasty.
the Dallas defense has been very good at shutting down the best players on opposing offenses all year.
Well, apparently they did the best too.
Yeah. Rams dropped to 3-5. I have their under 6.5. So
huge day for you.
I guess that's the
huge day for you. You were probably happy with your Cowboys.
That's the positive of it, I guess, because the Cowboys won. But
Hey,
whatever.
Come on, be happy. You're a cow. You should be happy for the Cowboys.
Get that out of here. All right, next, the Vikings win a third in a row, improve to 4-4. They win 24-10 over the Packers in Lambeau. This Packers offense continues to struggle with Jordan Love at the helm.
Yep.
People are starting to murmur.
What are they murmuring?
Have a cornerback problem.
And they just got rid of Rasul Douglas, so they sent him to Buffalo.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, a cornerback problem, you send out one of your cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
I actually meant to say quarterback. I don't know what the fuck I just said.
Oh.
But they did just send away Rasul Douglas.
Oh, I thought you said cornerback.
I did, on accident.
Oh.
I meant to say quarterback.
Yeah,
they did send away Rasul Douglas to Buffalo. So that's
we didn't highlight
that's a
in the
loss.
breaking news before. But
but do they have a quarterback problem, Reagan? Are the Packers going to be in the quarterback market next year?
Let's not forget who the Packers are missing right now on their O-line.
Bakhtiari, who's out for the season, but I mean he hasn't really played in 3 years.
But I mean, that a guy like that helps a lot.
I think Bakhtiari is going to go to the Jets.
Their O-line's not great, and let's not forget this guy's still essentially a rookie. They're going through the growing pains right now. It's not like all of his weapons have been able to stay healthy. Watson's been in and out.
Watson actually, he had 8 targets. He only had 3 catches for 33 yards. If you take out that sick 5-game stretch he had last year and all of his other games, he's actually not performed well at all.
Yeah. Aaron Jones hasn't been 100% all year.
7 carries for 29 yards.
And I mean, obviously, Dobbs has been decent this year, and Jaden
Reed 4 for 83
seems to be like a pretty good draft pick by them. But still, the weapons. If your weapons aren't staying healthy, your O-line has problems. And a guy who's only played 9-10 career games. I mean, he's not like he has a ton of experience. I think they got to let him play out the year and see. Because then again, he's in his 3rd year. That gives him 2 more years. That means after next year, they got to decide on his 5th-year option too. So,
wrong. Do your research. This is his 4th year. They already agreed for a 1-year deal next year. That isn't.
Is it his 4th year? No.
Yes, it is.
Dude, he sat behind him for 3 years.
Yes, he was a 2020 draft pick.
Wow.
And they already agreed on a deal.
I guess I got to do my research
next year.
You're going to have to let me listen to these guys
option.
that you steal all your stuff from, like Bear and
stuff.
stuff.
I just know that.
All right, I made a mistake. Okay, all right.
One of us does some research before the pod. But I didn't even need to research that. I just knew that.
I'm a fraud. All right? I'm a fraud.
What they did with the contract was they didn't want to guarantee the full amount for the 5th year. I think it was like $23 million. But they didn't want to decline it because this is Love's 1st year as a starter. So they gave him a guaranteed 15. It was like a compromise. So it seems like they're going to have Love next year.
I think you have to. You can't make your decision after one season.
$15 million dead cap.
You rarely see quarterback turnover after one season.
But, they're 2-5.
Because, he's a first-round pick. You know what I mean?
They're 2-5. If they actually, the season spirals and they're, really bad, picking top 5, maybe even top 10, maybe they think about it, but I don't know.
Yeah, you got to think about how good this draft class is.
Still a lot of football to be played. On the Viking side, they got the win, but at what cost, Reagan? At what cost?
Their season.
Their season.
Although Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, they do not have faith in the 25-year-old rookie from BYU, Jaron Hall.
And there's no reason to.
No, there's no reason to. This run game struggled again. Madison 16 for 31, Akers 9 for 19. They've been one of the worst rushing teams in the league this year. They have great pass protecting tackles, but I don't know, they just can't seem to get their run game going. KJ Osborne 8 for 99. I guess on the bright side, Addison another good game, 7 for 82, and he had another touchdown.
Yeah,
I think he's second behind Tyreek Hill.
He has 7
receiving
touchdowns. Dude, and the best part is with them getting Dobbs, I have Addison in Dynasty. I'm sure a lot of people are like, what does this mean for him? Even Jetta's. At least this saves this season, because I don't think anyone ever had any confidence in Hall. At least we've seen Dobbs be okay as a quarterback, or at least a lot better than Hall. So at least it gives me some confidence going forward. Yeah. Even Hollywood, for fantasy-wise, he's putting some pretty good weeks because he's still getting those touchdowns, The Cardinals are in some games. I'm not going to say they're, competing a ton, but they've been in some games, so I feel a lot more confident
with
Dobbs.
That's a lot worse of a roster than Minnesota's roster.
Yeah, exactly. So Dobbs will probably look even better.
And my preseason prediction of the Packers winning the division is out the window, gone.
Hey!
That was my bold call, and it's not working out
Such a hot
very
take.
well.
That was so spicy.
It was spicy.
Plus 150. Spicy.
They were only plus 150?
I don't know. I don't think it was, that crazy of a take. I think
Did you just pull that out of your ass?
Oh, 100%, but I know they were second. I know they were second.
The king of just pulling shit out of his ass.
Pulling shit out of my ass. Well, you're like, that was my hot take. That's not a hot take. That's like
they were third and no, they were
mild.
They were behind Minnesota and Detroit. They were
Motherfucker,
third.
A hot take is saying Najee Harris is going to lead the league in rushing yards.
Well, that's a flaming hot take. That's a Blazing Wings challenge take.
That one's
you're giving me
out.
the mild one, you're somebody's eating a mild wing and needs ice cream.
That's not a mild wing, bro.
Bro, yes it is.
No, it's at least up to
because
desert heat.
Bro, that's the second hottest wing there. What the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it's not the hottest. I would have said the Bears were in the division. Fucking Adam Rank had him 12-5. You guys know Adam Rank from NFL Network? He's a fucking
no
bum.
free promotions.
He predicted the Bears to go 12-5. I was like, fucking moron.
that's
Anyone
well.
could do your job.
Sounds like the guy we have on the podcast.
Sounds like Drock, who took their over.
MVP future.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Venmo, Drock. All right, next.
Kids are still trick-or-treating out there. It's wild. It's just pitch black.
Yeah,
out
you
there.
hear this guy? He's the Grinch on Halloween. Go home, kids.
No, I just I care about their safety. What do you mean?
He's like, I don't want them to get cavities. Go home.
No, not cavities.
brush your
but
teeth.
The kids
get hit by a car
during broad daylight.
When the hell is Michael Myers going to come and kill us all for the podcast?
Oh, one of us should have been Michael Myers. Obviously not me. My costume's fucking great.
Fuck, I should have been Michael Myers. I could have sat here in the corner.
You
and
look
just
like a guy that got attacked by Michael Myers.
It's like Michael Myers threw this dork through the window. All right, the Titans.
Who you calling dork?
28-23 beat the Falcons. Falcons are now 4-4.
Who called it? Who called it? This guy did.
You pick them every week, so you're 3-4 picking the Titans.
Oh, okay. Boo-hoo.
Is Desmond Ridder going to start this week? That's the question.
I think
because he got checked for a concussion, but he was cleared, and Arthur Smith's like, no, you're good. We're not going to risk it. You're good. We're going to go with Heineke for a little bit. Heineke went 12-21 for $175 and a touchdown.
I think they go with
while
Ridder still.
went 8 of 12 for 71 yards. But they're in this division, though. They're tied for the
I
lead.
think they stick with Ridder because Arthur Smith is very stubborn, so I feel like he's not going to want to change anything up. We've already seen it with Bijan. He's very stubborn. Doesn't want to fully give him the workload, so I think we're not at the clear of Ridder just yet.
Taylor Heineke had a good Halloween costume, though. I don't know if you guys saw it.
What was the costume?
A Heineken can?
He was a deer, and then his girlfriend was a car, and she had the lights on her chest, and he was just staring at him.
Is his girlfriend hot?
I mean, you can take a look at the picture and come up with your own.
Yeah, I'm asking you, though.
Yeah, she was attractive. Yeah, he had a reason to be staring.
You think this mover would be staring?
Moo.
Yeah, no, he would have definitely gone count tipping on him.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Heineke would have fucked up this cow.
Yeah.
My boy Bijan.
Your fat ass would have been tipped.
Oh my god.
Throw the moo in there.
Moo. My boy Bijan went 11 for 62 and a touchdown. Your boy Algier 8 for 31. Suck on that.
Wow, we're just rooting on the downfall.
I don't know. Drock's lock in the parlay. Drake London hit his over 5 for 55. That a boy Drock?
Drock?
Not
Yes,
Drock's
sir.
pick, though.
Not Drock's lock. That one did not hit. That was a bad pick. But Drock's pick in the parlay hit.
1 for 1.
In fairness, Pickett did get hurt.
Yeah, for like a series, bro. Drock just sucks.
Drock.
Drock is 5-2. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm joking, Drock. I don't mean to bust your balls. You're doing very well.
Consider your balls not busted.
Yeah, consider him perfectly fine. Who would have thought Kadero Hodge was going to be the leading receiver with 3 catches for 75 yards for Atlanta?
I didn't have it on my bingo card.
Neither did I. Now, I see a lot of people giving Arthur Smith shit, as people always do, including this podcast a lot. He
Shouldn't, because he's a human being at the end of the day.
We're not an Arthur.
Who is it? Was it Pruitt? They had Pruitt throwing the ball to Jonu on a trick play, and they had Kyle
Jonnu?
Pitts blocking.
Jonu.
Janu.
And they had Kyle Pitts blocking for him. The guy,
Yeah, it makes
the
sense.
highest drafted tight end ever, who's not a
Yeah.
blocker. They had him blocking for the other 2 tight ends.
Well, I mean, it is a trick play, right?
Yeah, but, you know,
That's
you
a trick.
Coming, right?
Never saw it come. Who would have thought Kyle Pitts, a
it-
bad blocker, blocking?
You're acting like it worked. It didn't work.
On Hollow Weekend, you know.
I'm acting like you're just like a Janu hater. Like, I
I'm
don't
not a
like
John New hater. I'm a Kyle Pitts enthusiast.
it. Wow. Hey, yo.
Now, we did talk about Will
Let him
Levis
milk those
on yesterday's pod, Reagan.
What'd you say?
We did talk about Will Levis on yesterday's pod. Huge
Yeah, we
game out
did.
of him. 19 of 29 for 238 and 4 tutties.
Yeah, probably
Hopkins,
one of
4
the best.
catches, 128 and 3 touchdowns.
I mean, I'd have to say that's probably one of the best rookie, like game 1 performances in their career out of recent memory.
Yeah, since Daniel Jones.
Like, that's crazy. Yeah. No, honestly, that's the last one that comes to my mind.
Because there's only 3 quarterbacks in NFL history to throw for 4 touchdowns in their debut. And I think Jones did it, Levis did it. I forget who the other one was.
But still, yeah,
very
what a
impressive.
hell of a
And we
start
did
to
talk
his career.
about, supposedly Levis left a lot of meat on the bone. Could have completed some easier passes.
I don't like that. I just don't like that.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
You like wings? What's wrong with that? That's
Just sounds weird from a guy in a cow costume.
touche.
He didn't finish his dinner.
Touche. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say?
I don't know,
Touche.
just like phrase it differently.
The horse, 22 for 101. That's a good game for the horse.
The horse.
The horse is doing his thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not.
Horse
Like I
knows
said,
that.
I feel like this game, the fact that they won it, kind of changed their way of viewing this trade deadline,
They're 3 and 4. They did hold on to the horse,
as well as Hopkins. Two
As
guys
well
that
as
were on your
Hopkins.
top 15 trade candidates.
and I think that means they're going to stick with Levis because you do want to have a veteran
oh, of
receiver
course they are.
and a veteran back with a young quarterback. It really helps
They
them out a
don't
lot.
stick with them. I mean, I guess you have to have some sort of debate once Tannehill comes back. But as
No,
of now, I mean,
Tannehill sucks. They're fine.
Okay, all right.
You go with the Rook.
Confirmed, not a Ryan Tannehill guy over here.
You go with the Rook.
I
You
saw
definitely go with the
something
Rook.
how Levis is. Willis is starting Thursday if Tannehill can't go. That's what I saw on Twitter.
Who said that?
Just some sources. I don't.
Did you get duped?
Did you get
No,
duped?
I didn't get duped.
To who is it?
Was it Rappaport or was it
I'll
Schefter?
I'll have to double check, but that's what it looked like.
I'm gonna pull up Sleeper and see what they're saying about Levis.
Anyway, though, so long term, I mean, that's also a huge bet because we bet on the Titans over under. I was on the side of the over. We bet on the Falcons over under. I
Yeah,
was
it's a
on
tough
the side
swing.
of the under. So
It's a tough swing.
2-0 for me on that. 0-2 for Big Dog over here. So or Big Cow,
That's kind of fucked, bro.
Small Cow.
I don't know what you're talking about, Joe, because 6 hours ago, Will Levis receives the starting nod from Mike
right.
Vrabel.
He got duped.
You got duped!
This dude found this dude got duped by some burner account.
Don't
First
believe
line.
everything you see on Twitter,
Levis
I guess.
smashed in his NFL debut. He did smash. QB5 performance against the Falcons, which has been a good defense so far this year. All right, Reagan.
Move on.
Your
Let's move
Saints. Your Saints. You're going back to back with your boys. They beat the Colts 38-27 to improve to 4-4, just like the Atlanta Falcons.
Also, quick point. We've been saying, pick up Taysom Hill. You got to pick him up. He's only rostered in ESPN leagues, 10% of leagues. You have to
That's
pick
the
him up.
stat you know of all of them. That's the one you know?
Such a weird.
Fantasy football guy. Because I was looking at it today. I'm like, I want to talk more about Taysom Hill. He's got to be top
Were you,
priority.
sit, were you sit on the can when you saw it?
Nah, I wasn't painting the
Who's
toilet.
got him in, who's got him in Dynasty?
I believe you do.
Drock.
Yeah, but you're not smart enough to start him.
The
I haven't
Drock
started
the
him.
clock.
Yeah.
I haven't
So,
started him yet.
Well, you will next week, and
Drock
because
on
you're
the clock.
Drock, he's not going to play well.
Drock on the clock. So,
on
the clock.
what I was saying is, though, I mean, this is one of the top tight ends out there. He can run, he can pass. He can receive. I mean, he's getting all this work.
He could do it all, Reagan. He
Outside
completed a pass for 44 yards.
Outside of Kelsey and Andrews, I mean, who else would you pick up? Mom, would you start Taysom Hill? Would you start Taysom Hill or no?
You don't like my Moo costume?
You're live on the mic. You got anything to
we're
say?
live,
What?
Miss Loescher.
No, you're not.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we
are.
are.
The camera's rolling. The mic's going.
Yeah.
You don't like
we are
Colin's
live.
Moo costume?
I love it. I like his Jets costume better.
Oh, we knew that one was coming. We knew that one was
Hashtag
coming.
idiot.
You guys look great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How about these guys?
Hey, I'm dressed up as
They're
RJ
scary.
Barrett.
He's playing a single dad.
I'm the 9 to 5 guy.
Single dad.
Single dad, 9
Father
to 5.
of 3 girls.
Whoa.
He's already balding.
You didn't know Dave has
See,
3
that's
kids?
That's not the costume. This is a legit hairline.
Legit, yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
not part of the shindig. All right, so Reagan, Taysom Hill, as we were saying, had a completion for 44 yards, had 9 carries for 63 and 2 touchdowns, and through the air, only 1 catch, but for 14 yards. The guy does it all.
He does do it all. I mean, I'm saying, you got to pick him up in fantasy.
My goodness, bro. Rashid
What do you mean,
Shaheed.
what the fuck am I supposed to be? I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be. I just threw something on.
What do you think I am, Mr. Loescher?
A Moore.
Jets fan.
Oh, no.
Yeah, brother.
No, it's bad. I don't like it.
J-E-T.
Yeah, come on, you do got to say it once.
C.
You do gotta say it once.
W-S. Cows.
Yeah,
You
I'm
gotta
not
say
doing,
it.
I'm
Come
not
on.
doing the Jets chant, bro. That's too
All
far.
right, fine. Do the
That wasn't
Cowboys
part of
chant.
the
Do the
deal.
Cowboys chant then.
I'm not doing a Cowboys
even
chant
is the
either.
Cowboys
I've moved for
I
you
don't know.
plenty.
He goes,
I don't need.
moo.
I need to
I'm
do
a
anything
Cowboys fan.
I don't need to do anything more. I've already paid my dues. Actually, not. I gotta wear it again for tomorrow's pod, but you know. Rashid Shaheed, Reagan, 3 for 153 and a touchdown.
Yeah, what a week for him. And I mean, averaging 51 yards a catch. Had to do some quick
math.
Quick
There
math
it
there.
is.
That's as quick as it gets with this guy. I mean,
I think he's clearly become
I
Derek
can
Carr's
confirm
favorite
Oh,
downfield
come
target,
on.
man. I mean, I think him and Derek Carr have a great connection.
yeah, I'd say trade Olave, trade Mike Thomas, feature Shaheed, Taysom Hill.
Olave,
Kamara.
5 for 46, fresh off the speeding ticket. Not what you want to see if you're an Olave holder.
What part of it?
Any of it.
Yeah.
Derek Carr, your boy, 310, 2 touchdowns. He's making a push for MVP in the back half of the season, Reagan.
You said it. I ain't denying it. All right, guys, listen up. Here's why I think Derek Carr's going to win the MVP. In his last one game, he threw for over 300 yards and had a 2 touchdowns. No.
Wow, you don't even know your stats for your boy.
All I know is he's on a heater. He's throwing a lot of yards, and he's a must pick up in fantasy leagues. He's a must bet on. He's going to run the table, get the MVP, get the Saints
All right,
that
let's
1
not
seed.
act like this Colts defense is legit, bro. They've been getting torn up by everybody the last few weeks.
You know what I say to that? Counterpoint. Any given Sunday.
Fair enough. Now, if you're a Jonathan Taylor fantasy holder, he's been producing 12
You
carries
were happy
for
in the first
95
quarter.
yards.
We're at the stadium. I'm like, yo, JT's already got 80 yards.
I know, and we both have in fantasy. We're watching because we were getting these two pudgy guys here. We're getting chicken tenders and fries at the game, and then Colts punch it in, and we're like,
Yeah.
oh, that was Zach Moss again.
Yeah,
Zach
yeah.
Moss sneaks the touchdown, 11 for 66,
Moss
and
to
a touchdown
Haas.
for Moss. Now, if you're a Colts fan, you are happy that Josh Downs continues to shine in his rookie year, 7 for 72. He's really started to come on lately.
Yo.
Pause.
I mean, I didn't know you were a sus mooer.
Pause. Now the
But
Colts.
you can't go, I didn't know he was going to come on lately. Like, just so sus.
Yeah, pause. Colts dropped to 3-5. I have their under. I'm not so super mad about it. All right, let's move on, Reagan.
Sure.
The Patriots fall to the Dolphins,
Yeah.
31-17.
I mean, yeah, I thought this game would be slightly closer, but, you know.
Yeah, your system of betting Belichick and against the spread in division
It has
games.
failed me this week.
It has failed you, brother.
It has failed me. But, you know, we still got 2 more opportunities. They got Buffalo again. They got the Jets, so they're probably beating the Jets, so they'll cover whatever that spread is. And, yeah.
When was the last time the Jets beat New England?
I don't know. When was the last time the Giants beat the Jets?
We play every 4 years. not-
Okay, so when was the
not
last
once a
time?
year.
I don't know, 12 years? So probably the last time we
Yeah,
beat
it's
the
a lot
Patriots.
easier when you play a team every 4 years than
Okay.
every season.
The years don't lie.
I was asking a genuine question. You need to get so far.
Yeah, you don't have to go so defensive,
Jesus.
brother.
No. My team won. You don't talk about our Jets like
I
that.
clearly struck a sore spot.
Yeah, you know.
If you... It pains me, man. It pains me. But you know what? We don't need to talk about that. Let's talk about the Patriots.
Yeah, we're
and
talking about the
Dolphins.
Patriots. You got to go on a tangent about your fucking Jets.
I didn't bring it up. He brought up...
Kendrick-
I was asking a question.
Kendrick-
He set me off.
Kendrick Bourne was their leading receiver, 3 for 36 and a touchdown, and that's despite him suffering a torn ACL in the game. So this receiving core of Pharaoh Brown, Demario Douglas, Devontae Parker, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Jalen Reagor looks to be the worst in football.
Sounds like they're about to explode. Like Juju's knee.
Yeah, pause. Now the Dolphins side, my leg of the parlay,
You got-
Jalen Waddle over 60 and a
All
half.
right, come on, do a little dance.
Cash in the first half.
No,
Hey!
If you bet on Waddle, you got to do the Waddle dance. Come on.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, a little waddling cow.
Get up and waddle.
He went up
Yeah,
for
get-
7.
Stand up and
Stand up
waddle.
and waddle.
All rise.
Waddle.
Now moo. Maybe a little moo.
All right, now when the Dolphins are playing the Patriots,
What do
it's
you
just
do?
a known thing. You bet on Jalen Waddle. He's going to try to take away Tyreek Hill, which they still failed to do. He had 8 for 112 and a touchdown, but Jalen Waddle had 7 for 121 and a
Now
touchdown.
tell me, is this public knowledge?
Oh, it's not public knowledge, but
It's just straight up
knowledge up here.
knowledge
You
of
don't
Colin
find
said-
that shit everywhere. You find it here to round the felt.
Who are
Yes,
your
sir.
sources?
We are your
Source: Colin Patrick Tong.
See, I don't have a source. I just know these things. I do these things. And I think I'm on a heater on the parlay, too, by the way. I think I've only lost one.
The best part about it is you're saying that you know these things while you're doing a punishment.
Shut the fuck up. I bet on my team. That doesn't count. I
Okay.
I bet with my heart.
All right, fair enough.
Plus 3 pushes.
Yeah, 3
Unfortunate
technically
push.
pushed. 3 technically pushed, so.
Yeah. Well,
Tua Tagovailoa continues his MVP campaign, 30 for 45,
Now
3
the favorite as
touchdowns
well.
and a pick.
He's now the MVP
324 yards. And he is now the MVP favorite after Mahomes had a dud against the Broncos. And Tyreek Hill over 1,000 yards, Reagan.
crazy times we're in.
Crazy times we're in.
Crazy times.
It's a good. It was a good day if you have Tyreek Hill in fantasy.
That it was.
I know
That it
we
was.
both do.
I do. Yeah.
Next, the Jaguars on the road, which by the way they're 4-0 on the road this season.
Road
Beat the
dogs.
Steelers 20-10. I tell you what, this Jacksonville defense has been balling out this season. I mean, the offense hasn't. Everyone expected them to average like 30 a game with all the weapons they had in Trevor Lawrence.
Let me
But
stop you there because
they
I want to
played
go on a rant
complementary
right now.
football.
Hey, that bald motherfucker out around the felt, Cox Drock or whatever you call him. You're gonna tell me to bet on Kenny Pickett and it's not gonna hit?
Yeah, what's crazy is Trubisky had more passing yards. Who had that in their bingo card?
Why didn't you just tell us to bet on
He gets hurt
Trubisky?
every freaking year, so I don't know what else to say.
Kenny
I'm
went
done
10
with
of
betting on
16 for 73 yards, so it's not like he was necessarily on pace either.
Rebuttal?
Yeah, I got nothing else to say. I'm never taking a quarterback's prop ever again. Besides if it's rushing. 'Cause those
You
count.
love the rushing props.
Like Tyrod
That's
Taylor.
Drock's special.
Should've took Tyrod.
That's Drock's
Why?
special.
Did it hit?
Yeah, Tyrod said he had 30 rushing yards. It was only like
Did he actually have 30 rushing yards?
30, and he only his line is only
He
at
didn't
23.
even play half the game.
Yeah.
We should make a shirt
Oh,
for
it's
Drock
smash.
specials like quarterback rushing
It
props.
should only be quarterback rushing props.
Quarterbacks to scamper. Slam it.
I don't want to spoil it to the followers, but that may be in the cards.
Oh, that may be in the cards.
Are they going to be
That's fucking
scampering
nuts.
to their bookie to place it?
They may be scampering.
Mm.
They may be slamming it.
Yeah. I love it, Drock. Lawrence went 24 of 32 for 292, a touchdown, a pick. Kind of like he's been playing all year, you know. Not really throwing a lot of touchdowns. ETN's been getting a lot of them, even though he did not score this game. His heater kind of cooled down, but he did run for 79 yards on 24 carries. Evan Ingram, leading receiver. I love Evan Ingram. 10 for 88. Ridley, 6 for 83. Kirk, 4 for 46. On the Steelers side, what did we say that to do, Reagan? Get George Pickens involved. And what did they not do, besides for one play when he hurdled the motherfucker? They did not
him
get. He had
involved, no.
one target.
I mean,
No,
Deontay was
5
heavily
targets,
involved.
1 catch
Deontay was
for 22
involved.
yards and a touchdown. I will say, though,
Deontay's back.
Deontay is back.
not to stroke my own udders or anything, but I did have a parlay
Okay.
touchdown score.
Okay.
It was A.J. Brown.
Moo.
It was Jalen Waddle.
Okay.
Waddle. And it was George Pickens, plus 1,600 cash. And I didn't even know it cash till I got
crazy.
home. I was
Throwing
like,
that.
Pickens,
How much you throwing that?
a nice little Benji.
How many units?
Do the math. It's plus 16 units, brother.
Big
Quick math. Go Redhawks. Yeah, so George
you went
Pickens,
up-
1 cash was big
You
for
made
me. It was big.
$50?
He went up 16 units.
16 units.
So you made $50.
Yeah, you think you're funny for being stupid with math?
First cow ever to have a $100 unit.
The only cow that can afford that.
This
type of
cow's
shit.
taking it to the moon.
The first cow on the moon right here. You saw it here
Really?
first. But man, this Steelers offense is just absolutely brutal. They can't run the ball. Najee 7 for 13, Warren 5 for 19. It's really good for your Najee leading the league in rush.
You know what, Colin? It was good for the Najee bet because any yards is good for my future. Okay.
Yeah.
Did he get negative yards? Did he lose yards? Did he have more yards after this game than he did last game?
I mean, I know you're nothing close to a mathematician, but he didn't really add much to his value there.
Well, he added 13 yards, but
There
I know
go.
you love math, so it's 13.
It's what I do.
Is 13 more or less than 0?
It's definitely more. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
what you're getting at here. I don't. You're arguing against the wall right now.
You're calling yourself a wall?
No, like you're literally talking to yourself. I've moved on. I'm on the Eagles Commanders right here.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, but I think the Najee thing's good.
Okay, no, clearly not, buddy. Let's move on from it. You should move on too. Just put that one away.
Wow. Anyway, so now that you're done telling me, let's talk about Halloween over there. He had freaking 300.
Halloween. That is so corny. Did you just come up with that on the spot?
That was rough.
Well, okay. It hurts when you insult me like this.
Yeah, you're definitely a little flustered. Now, Hal
Yeah,
did
I'm
throw
super
for
flustered. It hurts so
for-
much when you make fun of my Halloween
your
joke.
boy Halloween did throw for 397 and
He
4
did.
touchdowns.
He's looking like the
one
franchise
pick.
quarterback. He is, looking like
He is
franchise
the Eagles' kryptonite, dude. He plays well
Apparently.
against Philly. That's what he does. Those are his best games. He did throw the ball 52 times though, which didn't
Don't
really
love to
make a
see,
ton of sense
but-
because they did average over 5 yards per carry on the ground.
This is just like both defenses were just getting lit up though, and they were trailing towards the end where they just had to keep passing the ball.
Yeah, I mean, A.J. Brown continues his historic stretch, 8
Yeah.
for 130 and 2 touchdowns. Now, we've mentioned this, kind of getting overshadowed by Tyreek, but he is currently on pace to set the single-season receiving yard record and beat Megatron's record right now. But Tyreek Hill's just ahead of him this season.
And also, like, they are playing one more game.
And he
so.
had 2 touchdowns, one of which
I'm
helped
not going to
me.
be impressed unless
One
they,
of them helped this cow get to the moon this weekend.
It's only impressive if they do it in 16 games.
I wouldn't say it's only impressive,
No, I mean it's
but
obviously impressive, but I'm not going to get like if it takes them a 17th game to break it, I'm not going to give them the record.
yeah, well,
gonna-
In your book.
Well, that's what
Well,
they
why
said
would you?
about.
Why
That's what
would
they said
you?
about the T.J. Watt sack when he tied Strahan. He did it in 16, and people were like, "Oh, respect."
If you do it in
He tipped the
16,
cap.
yeah,
It's-
that's what I'm
there's
saying.
more.
If Hill or Brown breaks it in their 16th game of the season, I'll give them respect. But if it takes them to the 17th game, then Megatron's season was just better.
I still think. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was better. I still think you give them respect, though. Like, I don't.
Well, yeah, you give them respect, but, I'm
But,
not
like,
gonna
if
give
they
them
do it in
respect.
16 games,
like when
it's a
people
different
go
level.
like the most receiving yards in a season, I'm not gonna give them that credit. I'm gonna give it to Megatron.
Yeah, but I mean, eventually, all records get broken. Well, not all of them, but most of them will get broken.
All right.
So.
No one's beaten Wilt Chamberlain's, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's no one's scoring a honey in a game. That's for sure.
You never
Jalen
know.
Hurts with throws for
Once I have a
319.
kid and train him up, he'll probably do it.
With your genetics?
With your genetics, bro.
Well, you never know. Maybe I could rizz up like a 6'10" WNBA player. or
I mean, I know
whatever.
you were a star in high school, but
on the
you're
basketball
the best
court.
player on
No.
the football team.
On the basketball court, no way.
No, you're probably the worst hooper I've ever seen.
That's not even true. I don't
Probably
think
the
I've
worst.
Ever, I don't
Definitely
think
the worst baseball player
I don't
I've
think
ever
I've
seen.
ever hooped with you, and I don't think I've ever played baseball.
And probably
with you.
one of the worst football players I've ever seen.
That's not even
And
true.
definitely the slowest track runner I've ever seen.
That's not even true. I literally ran an
You
event
had 3
sophomore.
minute 400.
What?
Yeah, freshman year. I remember that.
I didn't even
What happened?
play freshman year.
What happened?
In track, he ran a 400 meter.
You definitely came in last.
No, in 3 minutes.
That's not even true. I didn't
Yeah,
even
we-
do a freshman year.
yeah,
You're just making up stories now.
All right, then you.
I
were
played
older.
baseball with him and sucked freshman
All right, wait, when were you on the track team?
sophomore year, and I ran a
Then-
race, and I didn't
yeah,
come
yeah.
in last. And I ran was a 200, and I was out of breath
No,
because
that-
I was
it
like,
I remember you.
I wonder why he was
I
out of breath.
remember
because I
you did a
sprinted.
400.
Oh no, I did run a 400.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't even come in last. So,
Yeah,
and
but
I
it
also
was
don't
still
know.
for 3. It took
That's
3
not even
minutes.
true. But
Yeah, I remember having that as my Instagram caption.
He's got the notes, dude. You
Yeah.
got nothing.
I have the facts.
all I know is I didn't come in last. So,
Wow, that's
and
impressive.
I also remember in winter track I did beat Rajvinder singing at 300. So,
That's a flex.
well, I mean he was a long
wasn't-
distance
he
runner.
wasn't the fastest kid on the team.
Still was a runner.
Clearly.
Still was a runner.
Clearly
Still was a runner. Beat Mo Jones too. So
Could you beat
Oh,
Jalen
well.
Hurts in a race?
maybe if his knee's bummed.
Yeah, his knee is bummed, but he did still throw for 319 and 4 touchdowns. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Now, he
I mean,
only
he's
ran
a very
the ball.
good quarterback.
He only ran the ball 4 times for 6 yards, and this Eagles offense,
And the tush push got stopped.
it did get stopped. They did fumble. They're 7-1, and they've almost taken out the Hurts running aspect out of the offense due to his whatever his injury is, undisclosed. And they're still 7-1, dude.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm keeping them as my Super Bowl pick. They're a very scary team.
Absolutely.
And the rich get richer. I mean, we already talked about Kevin Byard, so as he adapts more to this team, you only can think what this defense can be.
Yeah, and if you're a Devontae Smith fantasy holder, you like to see 7 for 99 and a touchdown. Not the season you wanted from him if you took him in the second or third round, but that's a good bounce-back game. Although it is against the Commanders secondary that's been kind of getting exposed throughout this season. Now, it's interesting that Howell only got sacked one time in this game.
Yeah.
With that Eagles front.
That D-line or that O-line is stepping up. Stepping up. They're tired of hearing about him breaking that record. They don't want him breaking David Carr's record. Not if they have anything to say about it.
That's a good point, Reagan. And if you're a Commanders fan, Jahan Dotson 8 for 108 and a touchdown is a good sight to see.
Oh, it's a great
I'm
sight.
a big Jahan Dotson
because there were
fan.
all those
I really
reports
liked
coming out about
State.
him like practicing being the extra point holder, and everyone's like,
I did
"Whoa."
see that.
And everyone's like, whoa, like you can't make your first round pick do that. So,
All right, next, Reagan. Little fist bump. We both called this one. The Panthers getting the win column. That hurt?
congrats to Matt Scherf.
That hurt you?
No, I was doing a little bit of this.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's do it
Shaking
again.
it off.
No, little jazz hands. Come on.
One more time.
Moo.
The Panthers beat the Texans. Very ugly game, 15-13.
I'd like to say
Improved
congrats
to
to my
1-6.
boy Matt Scherf.
Yeah, congrats, Scherf. Big fan of the show. We appreciate it.
Big
We're
fan of the
rooting
show
for you.
and a big Panthers fan down there.
And
so.
Bryce Young wins the first matchup
huge
between
fan.
the number 1 and number 2 overall picks, and he outperformed Stroud. Young threw for 235 and 1 touchdown. Stroud threw for 140 and no touchdowns.
Oof.
Interesting. And the Panthers had no running game. Chuba Hubbard, 15 for 28. Yuck. Miles Sanders,
Huge storyline
2 for 0 yards, just falling out of the rotation. For those of you that thought Miles Sanders was a good pick this year, you were very wrong.
And I think what you can say is with Miles Sanders for their fantasy aspect, you do what the late great Drock says, and that's to slam it, and you can slam them right back down to your IR. Or I mean, right back down to your waiver
If you're
wires.
gonna say it with some fucking emphasis, alright?
Okay.
Yeah, say it with your fucking chest. Say it with your milkers.
Slam it!
Didn't someone predict Miles Sanders to score the most touchdowns this season? Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, on our hot takes episode, that was me. Yes.
I forgot that one. You sick bastard.
This guy's taking.
That's terrible.
What? You didn't have any bad takes?
That's terrible.
Because he's keeping notes on me. You got any notes on
Oh
his
my
Well,
god.
his weren't that spicy. On that
Yeah.
one.
Oh, it's lukewarm. Just because you dunk your freaking. Just because you need ice cream to eat your mild wings doesn't mean that you have to shit on my hot takes.
One, I needed ice cream to eat the blazing hot. All right, it's a little different. That's a little different. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen that video, please check it out on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Two, just because you have a hot take doesn't mean like you're some otherworldly fucking god. It was a stupid take. He's getting benched by Chuba Hubbard. He's one of the worst backs in football. Hubbard sucks.
Whoa.
He's terrible.
Alright, you can shit on me for my take, but don't shit on Chuba. That's
No,
not cool.
he's actually one of the most inefficient backs in football. He has
been
been
good
since
this
he
year.
entered the
He's
league.
been good
This
this year.
just shows that karma's a bitch. That's what he gets for yelling at Evan Anderson for eating popcorn on the job.
Yeah, oh, that's facts. Yeah, but I'd yell at him
Yeah,
too
somewhere
because he converted to an Eagles fan.
Evan Anderson's making chicken nuggets listening to this podcast. Very happy about Miles Sanders'
Yeah,
downfall.
exactly. It's like, that's what you get. You don't embarrass me in front of Jalen Hurts.
That's great. Adam Thielen continues his resurgence, 8 for 72. Clearly Young's favorite target. Mingo's starting to get more involved, 4 for 62. I like Mingo. He's a good fit for Young's game. Panthers get on the board, Reagan. They don't have their own first-round pick, so
Gotta
I think
win.
they're going to start winning some games.
I hope
That
so.
was my prediction before the season. After the bye, they'll start winning some games. That's number 1. All right, next, the Seahawks beat the Browns 24-20 to improve to 5-2.
You loving this Seattle
Gino.
team? I am loving this Seattle team this year.
254, 2 touchdowns. He did throw 2 picks, but the Browns do have a really good defense. Walker 8 for 66 on the ground. Charbonnet 5 for 53. Lockett played well with a touchdown. JSN had a touchdown. DK 5 for 67.
Game-winning touchdown too for JSN.
But I believe they really won because of their defense, Reagan. They picked off Walker twice.
Yup. The defense is
And
getting
Walker
the full
did
form.
fumble as well.
And they just added a guy we talked about on yesterday's show, in Leonard Williams. So
Definitely
this
will help out
defense
the
is just going to
defense.
keep getting stronger and stronger.
Now, what's interesting with the Browns' backfield, Kareem Hunt had the most touches, 14 for
that's-
55 and a
in
touchdown.
fairness, Ford did come in
Questionable.
very questionable.
He
They
had
thought
9
he was
for
going to miss 1 to
37.
2 weeks, and they said they were going to limit him. And I don't think he got many touches till the second half. So
Yeah, he only had 9 carries
I think
for
that's
37.
more of a like, hey, Ford's our guy, let's not kill him. And then they really like, oh, we're in this game, we can use him type of thing. But I would say I still think it's going to be a 50-50 split there, or 60-40, but I still think Ford's going to get the bulk.
I'd have to agree with you. The Browns fall to 4-3, but they're still in the wild card hunt. Meanwhile, the Seahawks are in first in the NFC West.
Control their own destiny. They still play the 49ers twice as well.
The Niners do own the Seahawks in recent memory, though. They beat them every year. But this is the year that they really got to make a push. They got to at least split with San Fran.
Yeah.
Next, the biggest upset of the week, Reagan. The Denver Broncos beat the Chiefs 24-9.
How about it?
Mahomes
Any
did not
given
look
Sunday.
like Mahomes
Any given Sunday.
probably due to his flu-like symptoms. He was sick. Threw for 241,
Yeah,
no
but
touchdowns
even that,
and 2
man,
picks.
like the O-line did not they were getting a lot of pressure on him.
And this Denver defense is one of the worst in football.
Like I don't know if you watched the last drive when it was still like within a game. I watched Mahomes get sacked like 2 or 3 like every time on that last drive they were in the backfield right away and Mahomes was running for his life.
How many times did he get sacked in that final
You know
drive?
what? I think all 3 sacks came in that final drive.
Really?
Yeah. Let me
Very interesting.
Don't quote me on it. Let me look quick. But it was weird to see it. I mean, this is the first time we have basically seen Mahomes not look dominant against this team. So
Yeah, I mean, leading receiver, obviously Kelsey, but leading wide receiver, Rashee Rice again, the rook, 4 for 56. I think it's fair to say that Sky Moore is a bust, 1 catch for 8 yards. I think it's fair to say
Mahomes
Kadarius
on
Toney's
the-
a bust, 1 catch for 4 yards.
on their last drive, well, they had a last drive where they threw one play and it was over, like the end of the game. He was sacked twice and then threw a pick on the 4th down and 27.
Yuck.
I mean, he was chucking it up to try to make something, but still didn't look like the Mahomes we're used to. Granted, he was sick. But
Well, that's
still.
the reason they lost, because they just kept turning the ball over and giving the Broncos short field, because the Broncos didn't move the ball. Wilson completed 12 passes for $114 and 3 touchdowns. Javonte,
That's
27
crazy. 3
for 80.
touchdowns, but only 114 yards passing.
I know.
Some like high school football stats right there. That's
Yeah, you would know. Javonte
Well, yeah,
had
I
27
would.
carries
I
for
do-
85
I
yards.
do-
He does
I
coach.
do, in fact,
he does
coach
our
football.
youth. He does coach our youth.
do coach the youth.
Yeah, Judy 2 for 50, Sutton 2 for 29. They both had touchdowns though.
Yeah.
Surprised, both of them are still Denver Broncos today.
And
Now-
Javonte Williams getting 30 touches too.
Yeah, I mean you like to see that because he's all
You
the way
love
back.
to see it
but
because, and it's also like we didn't know what McLaughlin's role is, but he only had 4 carries.
4 carries, very
4 carries for
interesting.
33 yards.
Very
But,
interesting. I think
yeah.
it's any given Sunday. Reagan, Chiefs sit at 6-2. They're going to be fine. I still have faith in them to get that 1 seed
Yeah.
in the AFC. All right, let's take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to the remaining games on the slate.
What's up, everybody? If you're not already doing so, please give us a follow on TikTok. It's Around the Felt. That's our TikTok. We've been updating our edits for the social media clips. Drock has actually found a software where he's able to make it look better by zooming it in. So if you've seen that new effect we've been doing, that's because of him. So once again, just give us a follow on TikTok. Thanks.
All right, Reagan. Ah, shit.
Oh, well, oh no.
Ladies.
Buddy
Who's the
stumbled.
lady?
All right, I'll bring us in since you're, what do you want to say? Today, Junior, you're klutz.
I'm wrong.
So, guys, welcome back in.
Fuck.
My upset pick of the week did not hit, unfortunately. I said that the Cardinals were going to upset the Ravens.
Hey, it was a
juicy
ballsy pick,
one.
brother. It was a ballsy pick.
I put my udders on the line, and it didn't hit, but
Your udders.
I should
Reagan,
say
are you
his
getting
udders.
nervous for that milk mile? My Ravens improved to 6-2
I
on
am
the
not.
season behind Gus the Bus Edwards, baby. 3 touchdown game.
I've actually been preparing for it already. I've been drinking a lot more milk than I normally do.
Milk's coming
No,
straight
no
from
Miles
the
ran.
source.
Fuck that. He's just
No, fuck that.
getting that belly ready.
As long as I can. As long
Whose
as I can.
milk you drinking? That's the real
I don't
question.
know.
Whose
Can
milk
I
you
have
drinking?
Can I have chocolate milk instead?
Straight from the source?
Can I get chocolate milk?
I
why
don't
you
do
would
that.
want
I don't do
that.
that. No, it's not me. I'm whole milk, baby.
I might do chocolate milk or like some strawberry milk.
I can't give you that, brother.
Why not?
That's not my
That comes
bag.
from the brown cow.
That's not my bag. I can't.
Whole milk.
You physically can't squirt that out
No,
of you.
I
get what
like
you're
I
saying.
literally can't. It's It's
What if
not
I
my-
drock over here squeezing your udders real hard?
Ball cap on
It doesn't
you.
matter who squeezes my udders. I don't produce strawberry or chocolate. It's just straight hole, baby. Now for the Cardinals, Trey McBride, baby, 10 for 95 and a touchdown, Reagan.
Yeah,
you've been gassing him up for a
I
few
have been
weeks
gassing
now.
him up, and he's finally getting his thing. And you
Here,
see
give
why?
the audience a
You
bow.
see
Give the
why?
audience a bow. There you go. There you go. You've been
You see
calling
why
for
I've been
this.
gassing him up though?
What's the point of bringing Zach Ertz back, man?
Zero.
None.
Zero.
None.
Don't stop letting him take Trey McBride's targets. We saw it with Goddard when he was back in Philadelphia. We're like, get Ertz out of here. Get this new guy in here, Goddard. Look at Goddard now. And we're going to be saying it about Trey McBride as the season goes along. I have him in a couple best ball leagues, so I'm thrilled about that because he's putting up great production. I actually had a best ball league last week where all 3 of my tight ends...
No one cares about your fantasy team.
Anyway, so I had a best ball team last week where 3 of my tight ends were
guys
used
can
in my
skip this part of the
lineup.
podcast.
So for any of you guys that play best ball out there, which I know there are some of you, because it's a big new format, but I actually ended up using 3 of my tight ends, which is crazy to say because the tight ends are on the up. After that tight ends day, they're scoring like crazy.
Yeah, stop stroking your udders. Let's move on.
Whoa!
Josh
Hey.
Jobs.
You want to hop in and do a little stroking?
No, I'm good. Josh Jobs' farewell game, 25 of 37 for 208, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. He's now on to Minnesota. And in the Arizona backfield, Reagan, Amari DiMercato has taken over until
The Italian.
Connor comes back, 20 for 78. Keontae Ingram, who was a starter, 2 for 9. Damian Williams, 2 for 5.
Hey.
This offense is brutal. Your boy
Yeah.
Hollywood, the parlay leg that did not hit for us. He did score, but only 6 catches for 33
I
yards.
know. You hate it.
You can thank Reagan
You
for
hate it. You hate it.
losing
Because
your
when you get
houses.
6 catches, you'd hope for more than 30 freaking yards.
Thanks to Reagan, my kids can't eat this week.
Good. They can just suck your udders and be fed that way.
That's awful. Cardinals dropped to 1-7. They are who we thought they were.
Which is?
Very bad.
Fair enough.
Very bad. All right, Reagan. The Bengals, Super Bowl bound, in my opinion.
You're done stroking your udders?
No, not yet. I'm still going to stroke them a little bit more. They beat the Niners 31-17 on the road coming out of the bye. What did I say? They scored over 30 points the previous 2 years off the bye. What did they do? They scored over 30 points. Joe Burrow looked healthy. He had 6 carries for 43 yards, and he had 3 or maybe 4 first down conversions using his legs. Let's go. Joe Burrow's back, threw for 283, 3 touchdowns, no picks, picked apart this defense. Jamar Chase, 10 for a honey and a touchdown. T.
honey.
Higgins, 5 for
Whoa.
69.
Give him some
This
Pause.
guy's spitting bar like 10 for a honey and a tutty.
Now, this Cincinnati defense plays well again, man. This defense is good under Lou Anarumo. I love it. I'm going to keep
Apparently.
stroking these udders. Place your bets now. Bengals to win the Super Bowl plus 1,800. We're going to revisit this in February.
But once
and you're all
again,
going to thank
do
me.
it responsibly because
Do it
we're not
responsibly.
reliable.
We're not reliable. We're not reliable. No, we're not.
But if you want to make some money,
Or I'm not liable. We're not liable.
Yeah, you know,
I
but-
said we're not reliable, and then you were like, yeah, we're not reliable. We're not liable.
We're not lying, you know. But if you want to, oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
that's what I'm
fuck up.
saying. We
That's a
basically
fuck
just
up.
said we're not reliable,
That's a fuck
so don't
up.
take our bet.
listen, it's an
We're not liable.
unpredictable sport. but-
Slam it!
But we're that kind of podcast. We're not going to edit it out. You can hear us stutter.
I'm just saying, if you want to buy yourself a Rolex and take the fucking Bengals to win the Super Bowl.
my
Now,
gosh.
some people are starting to doubt Brock Purdy. Some were anointing him the next Tom Brady. Now they're
He's
saying
pretty bad as of
they're gonna
late.
they're gonna bench him.
You hear what I said?
He threw.
He's pretty bad
Yeah,
as
you've
of late.
used that one
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
It was corny then. It's corny now.
Okay.
He threw
fine.
for 365, 1 touchdown, and another 2
Wow.
picks. That's been his problem. Is he was the guy that just didn't turn the ball over, and now over the past few weeks he has 5 interceptions. Not good for the Purdy.
No.
6 carries for 57 yards, though. Who had that in their bingo card? Brock Purdy over rushing yards. Not me.
No, me neither. No, not on my bingo card.
Receiving-wise, Kittle, 9 for 149. Goddamn. Ayuk, 5 for 109. Goddamn. McCaffrey, 6 for 64. He keeps the touchdown streak alive. He actually had 2. He had one on the ground as well, 12 for 54. The problem with the Niners is, I think I saw a
What's the
stat.
problem? Let's hear
I
it.
saw a stat. Shanahan's teams, when going in the fourth quarter down by 8 or more points, are 0-39.
Sheesh.
That's not good, Reagan.
Not good.
It's because they're a team that plays from ahead because all of his passing game is built off the play action.
Yeah.
Which is why, it's very beneficial for quarterbacks when the run game's going, but when you have to play from behind, the defense doesn't play well. They doesn't really have the drop back to pass, shotgun passing games that these other offenses have, like the Bengals. So you're putting Purdy in a position where, he did throw for 365, but it's not a winning formula.
Yeah. And how much? Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of it's in garbage time too. Let's not act like all those yards were him just stepping up. It was a bad game out of Purdy.
Bad game out of Purdy. Niners dropped their 3rd in a row, Reagan. Do you think they right the ship next week? Who do they got?
Well, I'm pretty sure they're on a bye. No, they're on a bye. But when they get off the bye, 100% they right the ship because I just can't see this team, especially after coming off of bye, losing 4 in a row.
But that's what we said. We're like, there's no way they lose 2 in a row. Then we're like, there's no way they lose.
Yeah,
well,
but
not
now-
me.
but
I
now
took
I'm-
Bengals. You took Niners.
Now I'm
There's no
putting
way
my
they lose 3
fist
in a row.
down. There's no way they lose
Fist
4 in
is
a row.
down. They don't lose 4 in a row. All right, Reagan. Sunday Night Football. Chargers 30-13, thrumping over the Bears. They
Thumping
improved to
good.
3-4. Bears 2-6. Tyson Bagent did not have the same success that he had the week prior.
Yeah, there was a bad drop by one of the receivers for a touchdown, though. So that looks a little bit different if that 40-something yard bomb's completed. But the guy like slipped and fell and just dropped it wide open in the end
Yeah,
zone.
not good. Not good.
So-
He had a fumble. They did not lose it, though. They recovered it, and he threw 2 picks.
At the end of the day, this guy's just
what you
playing
expect.
himself into a backup job.
Yeah, I mean, he's just having fun. Like, this is
Yeah.
just, living his dream. So you can't really bust his chops. I mean, he's a D2 player as a rookie. Tough ask against this Chargers team. They struggled on the ground.
Yeah.
Cole Kmet did have 10 for 79. He was kind of the security blanket for Badgett.
That's what I'm saying, man. The tight ends have been on the up as of recent. They're getting all the volume.
Yeah, did you not hear about his
fantasy.
best ball lineup, bro? He had 3 of his guys in his lineup this week.
Dude, but that's what I'm saying, though. Like, come on. Get one of those good tight ends. Go win a fantasy league.
I hear you, Reagan. Herbert did Herbert things, 31 for 40, 298, 3 touchdowns. And Eckler, the leading receiver, 7 for 94 and a touchdown. If you're a fantasy holder, you like to see that.
Yeah, for those of you worried about Eckler, I think you could put those worries away. I mean, it's a huge game. It's a tough matchup next week against the Jets defense, but a guy like Austin Eckler, still a top 2 fantasy running back in my opinion. Like, outside of McCaffrey, I don't think there's anyone I'm saying is better than him right now.
That's fair. I mean, he was RB1 last year, I believe. But he did only have 29 yards on 15 carries on the ground. The running game hasn't been there, but he is as lethal as it gets.
The thing with Eckler is the running. You're there for the receiving upside and the touchdown upside. It's never been based on his rushing ability.
No, absolutely.
He hasn't even, I didn't even know. I saw the other day. He's actually never had a 1,000-yard rushing season. Shockingly enough.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. But now I do. I'm glad I did.
Now you do, and now the folks know at home.
Yeah. He actually was closer to a 1,000-yard receiving season than he's been to a 1,000-yard rushing season. All right, so last night, I watched it, you watched it. Great game, I guess. I mean, I think the Lions could have scored a lot more points, but let's get right into it. It ended up being 26-14.
26-14, Lions improved to 6-2,
And
the Raiders are now 3-5.
the Lions left a lot of points on the board, though, I will say that. They had kicked a lot of field goals
They did.
last night. So, I mean, on the Lions side of things, another dominant game. Jameer Gibbs, I believe, had over 200 all-purpose yards.
Jameer Gibbs, 26 for 152 and 1 touchdown. Most of that damage was done on first down. The Raiders just couldn't stop him. And he had 5 for 37 through the air. So, quick math, Reagan. How many yards is that?
I blanked out when you were telling me. But anyway.
189.
189.
Oh, so not a 200
look at
all-purpose
me.
yards.
Oh, look at y'all go.
But anyway, what I was going to say is I had a league where I was 7-0, looking to go 8-0.
No one cares about your fantasy.
I have Devontae Adams. He is Jameer Gibbs. I ended up losing.
Yeah, it was little bro,
nevertheless.
little Jared.
Also, you say nobody cares about your league, but you're in that league. Your team's shit. My team's good. But I did end up losing my first game because, like I'm sure there were a lot of people out there. Devontae Adams actually did shit the bed last night, and he had a lot of
I would
potential
say
touchdowns.
this. I would say this.
A lot of missed throws
Jimmy
right now.
Garoppolo shit the bed. Okay. That one deep ball he missed at the end of the game
There
that
were
would have been a
there were
clear
two
touchdown.
times
There
they
were
missed,
two.
too.
There were two.
Well, one would have
Terrible.
been like a 99-yard touchdown.
And one would have been 99, other one would have been 60. And you saw Adams on the sideline slam his helmet. He's pissed
He
off.
was slamming it like his name's Drock.
Slam it! Yeah, I'm surprised that he didn't get traded today. I mean, contract is a bitch to move, but I'm surprised he didn't try to force his way out. I was in a similar situation, Reagan.
Nobody cares about your fantasy league.
I went into last night. I was up by 12 or 13 going against Jacobs, and I had Adams, and I won by less than a point.
I lost by 0.3 in one league.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
Oh.
disgusting.
Yeah. So
It was the Josh Jacobs show, 15
rough
for
night
61
for
and a
us last
touchdown.
night. Hopefully you guys had better luck, but
I won, so I don't
the
know
love
what
of
you're talking
fantasy
about.
football.
You're talking. I don't know. Garoppolo, 10 of 21 for 126 and a touchdown. He's terrible. We all knew he was going to be bad when he left Shanahan's offense, and he did get sacked 6 times. This Raider O-line could not hold up against the Lions.
Nope.
I mean, at the end of the game, they were just blitzing the hell out of him, and it's like
Why
they
would
didn't
you
even
not?
know,
And why
how to
would you
pick it
not?
up.
And why would you not?
A lot of miscommunication, not good. Lions defense looked good. This is a game they should have won at home, and they took care of business. The Raiders, it seems like Josh McDaniels is not going to stay around much longer.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, big next 2 weeks for this Raiders team, because if they lose to the Giants and then lose to the Jets, season's over.
Now, I'm curious who's going to be favored next week, Giants or Raiders.
Where's the game?
Vegas.
Vegas will be then. I think no matter wherever it is, who's ever home is going to be 3-point favorites.
That's probably fair.
So,
That's
because I
probably
think
fair.
both teams are pretty evenly matched. I mean, obviously they got the better weapons on offense, but you guys got the better defense.
I don't know. As bad as the Giants' offense is, the Raiders are the only team to not score 20 points this year.
Wow.
Did you know that?
Didn't. That's a good stat.
That is a good stat. And you'd think with Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, you could score 20 points, but nah, Jimmy Garoppolo is just really bad. And Aiden
Hoyer
O'Connell's
was
not. Hoyer the Destroyer's not good
Kobe
either.
Myers, one fucking catch.
Yeah, 1 catch for 19 yards. Very weird. He's been playing well. But yeah.
What a week. What a week.
What a
No
fun
buys.
week of football. A lot
Yeah.
of games this week.
going to be a couple weeks till we have another full slate, though. I
Yeah,
think,
we're gonna have buys.
week 14 or week 15 is when... No, week 14, I think, is the first week we'll have since this week with a full slate. So, a lot of shorter pods coming up, but, man, I love football. I don't know about you.
Yeah, we love football so much, we got you guys an extra pod this week. So we'll be back later this week with the Week 9 predictions. That's all we got for today. Happy Halloween, Felters.
All I can say is, boo!
That was crazy, yo.
That was good.